Hey everybody, what's going on? Your host LovelyCheesePizza here. Welcome back to Let's Play some more Gran Turismo 3, the ultimate driving simulator. And before we get started on tonight's stuff, I want to take a quick second to wish my good friend Eric a happy 21st birthday. I mean, you're 21 years old now, man. You have the full ability to consume alcoholic beverages of your choice in public without any fear of getting thrown in the chokey, unless of course you're doing stupid shit out there, which hey, that's entirely up to you. But you can do it now, and it's awesome. So I hope that your day is super great. I only have one thing to ask of you, even though you won't even see this until well after the fact, is while you're out drinking, I ask you to have one drink in my honor, and I want you to have an AMF. I mean, not only is it my own initials, which makes it at least about 13.74% cooler just by default, it's just this awesome compilation of like 6 hell elixirs, and they throw some blue curacao in it, and it totally gives it this nice, lovely baby blue color, which gives you something lovely to look at while you're totally destroying your liver and killing yourself. And you'll only need one, because after that one, you will have reached complete and total state of adios motherfucker, which is totally what it stands for, and yeehaw, it's great. So, you do that, let me know. It is a drink that'll probably cost you close to $10 to $12, depending on where you're at. Which also, really hope that the bartender that you get that from actually knows what the hell that is. Because when I was back in the East Coast, I went to a bar in Boston, and I asked the guy for one of those, and he looked at me like I was fucking crazy, and he'd never heard of it. Which was weird to me, because everywhere that I go here on the West Coast, everybody knows what the hell that is. And I showed him the recipe, and he was just like, oh my god, man. It's like, you trying to kill yourself? And I was like, not really. I mean, you know what a Long Island iced tea is, right? He's like, well, I mean, yeah, but still, that's a lot. I was like, all right. He's like, I'll totally make it, though. And so he did, and it ended up being what it was. So, there we go. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get down to business. We're going to head back into the Beginner League. We're going to go back to the 4WD-40 challenge, and we're going to do this just complete and total travesty of mankind and do Special Stage Route 11 for like the 3rd time in the last 3 episodes. It's like the plague. It just keeps coming back. But we do have the tools. We have the means to beat this thing, and if we can, we will not only keep our win percentage above 80%, which is really important, for me at least, as far as confidence is concerned, and we'll also get ourselves some money and a prize car, and everything that we need to move on to another cup challenge that we can take on. And I'm pretty excited about that. So let's do the thing now! Alright, let's go. So, this is going to take a little while, and because this is going to take a little while, I have a story for you guys. It is one of the more bizarre things that I have run into in recent times. Probably one of the weirdest things that has happened to me in 2017 so far, which, you know, I don't really have a large sample size to work with at this juncture. So, you know, we're kind of running off of minimal material here, but it is definitely, this particular event resulted in the first time that I've given a police statement in close to 10 years, I would say. And it's been, yeah, pretty close to 10 years. And, I mean, the situation, the last time that I gave a police statement was also pretty funny, but this one was just, it was so weird because it literally had no business in taking place, really at all. And that's what was strange about it. So, yeah, last night I decided, I mean, my plans really were to do pretty much nothing. Like, I didn't really have any plans to do anything because I'd gone to the gym and I'd worked out, and I was just, my muscles were just screaming in Swahili. And, you know, I had made some corned beef hash and eggs, and I ate myself to the point of passing out on the couch with my fork still in my hand. And so with that, I was just like, you know, I don't really think that I need to be doing anything else tonight. Like, I think that it kind of felt like my choice had been made for me in that situation, which I was totally fine with. You know, when you have a day like that, sometimes you just want to relax. And so, but later on, you know, Matt texts me, he's like, hey man, you want to go to the coin tonight and play some Tekken? And so I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And so I go down there and I was playing some Tekken, and I'll tell you one thing, there's something about Tekken 5 that really pisses me off. Like, Don't get me wrong, I love the series. I love the franchise of games. Like Tekken is one of my favorite, you know, fighting game series. But there's something about Tekken 5 that just really, really rubs me the wrong way. And I'm pretty sure that it's the boss character Jinpachi. That guy is a piece of shit. And I really think that, not only that, I think that he's a terrible boss character for the game itself. Because, you know, normally with boss characters in that game, like, they're hard. Like, obviously a boss character in a fighting game is designed to be really hard. But they're usually supposed to be fair, you know, to a point where when you lose, it's just like, oh man, that guy's really good. Like, you know, he's blocking everything, and he's just got these moves that I don't know how to defend really well. With Jinpachi, it's totally different. Like, the way that he beats you isn't necessarily just because he's a hard character, it's because he has two particular moves that are just absolute crap. That when he does them, there's literally like nothing that you can do to stop them from happening, unless, you know, your timing is absolutely perfect. And one of them, there's like no way to stop it at all. It's just when he does it, it's just going to happen. And, you know, when he does it, it also allows him to do the other move, which will basically kill you when he does it. Like, you can, and he does input reading out the ass, which makes it so much more infuriating that he does that, because, you know, you can basically be trying to set up like a good, strong combo or like a hard hit, and he'll know that it's coming because that's, you know, that's just the nature of input reading, and then he'll totally do this move where he stomps on the ground, and it only takes him like a third of a second to do it, and as soon as he does it, you get paralyzed, and your character is just kind of starts swaying around like not able to do anything, and no amount of you like wiggling the joystick or slamming buttons with your hands until you break your fingers can like get you out of it until after he's already done something. And so, like, that's the part that's frustrating, because then he'll do like a grab move, which does way more damage than a grab move should, or he does the other bullshit move where he jumps back and shoots a fireball out of this huge gaping maw in his stomach, and it does like 70% damage to you and will basically kill you instantly if the fight's been going for longer than 5 seconds. And even if he hits you with it, you know, even early on in the fight, you're basically dead. So, you know, there's like no point after that. And it just happens over and over and over again. Like, I was fighting against him last night, and I was doing really well. Like, I was on a roll, hadn't lost any other fights yet, and they're 2-round fights. And in this particular fight, he did 4 fireballs in a row. Like, there wasn't, like, he didn't even do anything else. Like, the fight started, he jumped back and did the fireball, and I got hit by it, and while I was on the ground, like, trying to get up, he reared back and fired off another one, and I was so far away from him that I couldn't do anything to stop it. And it was so stupid. And he did that both rounds in a row and killed me in 4 moves, and I couldn't even hit him once. I just got perfected twice, and it was the worst. But what wasn't the worst is how we just finished that race, and it was awesome. I guess that's what happens when you have to do it like 4 times. But hey, we did it, and it's good. So, like, the way that you're supposed to be able to, like, defend this move is when he does it, you have to, like, hit down or up really quickly, and you'll sidestep it. But because at this arcade, the joysticks are kind of wonky, like, you can't do that move very well because it doesn't read it very well. But even when it does, like, unless you do it really quickly, you're gonna get hit by it and you're gonna die. That's just the nature of the beast. And it's stupid. And I hate it. I can't stand it with all the fibers of my own being. And so, I don't know, I think that he's a really, really super cheap character that, you know, like you're supposed to feel when you beat a guy like that you're just like, oh yeah, man, I'm really getting good at this, and I feel good about what just took place. And you're not supposed to have this feeling of, oh man, I finally beat him, like, what complete and total dumb luck. Like, that's how I feel when I beat that guy, and I think that's ridiculous. So, let me take a quick break in that, and we'll get back to the rest of the story. What we're going to go into right now is we're going to go into, what the hell is it? The Alteza Cup, or the trophy, or whatever. And so, the accepted cars in that are either the Lexus IS, which my mom has one of those, and I adore it. I actually, instead of getting the Jetta that I have, I almost decided to take this car off of her hands, because she totally has it in in this color right here, but it's like between this dark gray mica and black, so it's like a really kind of dark gunmetal gray, and oh man, it just makes you go freaking sproing just by looking at it. However, it is not the car that we'll be using in this because it's got 157 horsepower, where instead we can go 3 up the way and we can get this Alteza RS200, which is essentially like the same car. Like, it looks very, very much the same. But we're gonna roll with this one instead because it has 207 horsepower. Easily the better choice. Ooh, I don't think I've ever seen a blue one of these before. That's kind of weird. I do like the green. I do really like the yellow. Oh, I think I might have to go with the yellow. Oh yeah, I gotta go with the yellow. Not only because I think it's awesome, but the Oregon Ducks are playing basketball right now, so I gotta roll with my guys, as yellow is one of their prime colors. And I think that actually looks really good. Like, it's so sharp and striking and clean looking that it just makes you want to do it. Not only am I buying it for this, but in the Amateur Cup, there's another one of those cups in there. So, for this same car, so we'll be able to use this more than once. So let's make sure that we buy all the necessary things here. Get us a nice 208 here. It's pretty good. So this obviously isn't going to be turbo at all. Yeah, actually it is. We can go turbo. So hold on a minute. Do we take the 303, or do we go NA tune-up? 263. Ah, see? You gotta go with the turb. Gotta go with the turbinado sugar that gives you more power for your driving. I mean, if I could find a car that you could just sprinkle turbinado sugar into it and it makes it go faster, that would be crazy. So nothing there. We'll go with this. And then probably wouldn't be a bad idea to buy some tires, just based off of what we had to go through. You know, well, you know what? We'll test it. We'll test it. Yeah. No, you know what? I'm not taking chances. I'm not going to take any chances. I'm going tires. Even if we just got to get some sports tires, that's fine with me. It gives us just the necessary edge. Like, imagine how much easier we would have won races with that Alteza if we would have bought a pair of tires with that. It would have been a night and day difference. So let's jump into this real quick, and we'll do like a race or two while I finish up the rest of this story. So the Alteza race, that's what it was. Let's go right on in. Walk right in, sit right down, and fucking destroy them all. Okay, so we're gonna jump in here, and so back to the story. So I go in there and we're playing Tekken, and everything's all hunky-dory, and by the time the place closed, it was 11:30, and so we decided to leave. And oh, we're all using the same car, huh? All right. All right. Ooh, look at the sound of that. Look at the sound of that, I just said. Yeah. Hey, how about you look at the sound of that, Jimmy? Not listen to the sound of that. But then again, I guess with that same knowledge, instead of look at the sound of that, it'd be, oh, listen to those visuals. Oh, they just sound so great. So anywho, after that, we decided, you know, since they closed, we were gonna leave and go off to another bar that was like a couple blocks away to play some Big Buck Hunting HD. Which, man, I've been sleeping on those games for a long time. They're actually pretty fun. They're actually surprisingly more fun than I thought they were. And so we decided to go over there and check that out for a little while. And then we left probably around like midnight, maybe like midnight 15-ish. And so when we leave this place, we're walking back over to Matt's truck, which was just a block away. We see at the corner. There are these three people that are in like a weird kind of squabble argument situation, and it was weird. And so we're walking by it, and you can kind of hear a little bit like this, you know, one guy is like, you know, having his girlfriend hold him back while he's, you know, throwing a hissy fit at the other guy, who's like not even like visibly shaken up by it at all. Like, he's like not even really acknowledging that it's even going on. And as we're walking by, we can hear the guy who's being yelled at. He's like, hey, you know, I really want to help your friend, but you're kind of being an asshole right now. So, you know, what am I even supposed to do? And so we're like, well, this is getting kind of interesting. And so we walk back over to his truck, which is maybe like a couple 100 feet away. And as things go forward, this dude that's been yelling the whole time, he's like, you know what? Screw it. I'm calling the fucking cops. And, dude, this is the part where it gets hilarious, because the reason why he called the cops ends up coming out, and it's just the stupidest, most egregiously dumb reason that I think I've ever heard somebody call the police for. And so, within a couple minutes, the police show up. And, you know, they get them separated, and they're talking to them, and you know, we're kind of eavesdropping a little bit, just because, you know, the intrigue is there. It's not like you get a lot of opportunities to see this go on in Salem at, you know, at midnight 15. And so, I don't know why I'm referring to it that way. I could just say 12:15 in the morning, but midnight 15 just sounds better to me. And so they're talking, and this guy just starts losing his shit to the cops. He's like, they're like, okay, can you please explain what happened? And he's like, oh, I'll tell you what happened. I caught this guy and his friends over here at this corner, and they broke a bottle on the ground. They broke a bottle on the ground, and I went over there and I told them to pick it up, and they wouldn't even do it. And I just thought, it's just like, why was it so hard for them to just pick up the bottle and throw it away? I mean, you can't just litter everywhere. And I caught them doing it. And after that, then they tried to gang up on me and they tried to assault me. And then, and they're like, and now I'm shaking and I'm scared and I just don't even understand. And like the cops, you can tell, like, while both of them are hearing this guy's testimony or whatever, they're just like, oh god. Because they can tell that the guy that's yelling is, like, at least kind of intoxicated. And so is the girl that's, like, trying to hold him back, because he still kind of keeps looking over in the other kid's direction and is, like, still kind of yelling at him. And he's just like, and so the guy's, like, the cops are basically like, okay, so you caught a guy breaking a bottle on the ground. All this group of people, which the group had since left, and so there was no way to even confirm whether this whole ganging up on this guy, attempting to assault him. Which, how do you attempt to assault somebody? Like, if you're a group of people and you're going to quote unquote attempt to assault somebody, why wouldn't you just do it? Like, at what point does this group of people who's supposedly ganging up on one guy attempt to assault him, and then before they do it just decide, well, maybe we won't, and then they just leave, but one of them still hangs around? Like, it was at that point where I realized this story sounds like total bullshit to me. And so, and the cops basically had already figured that part out too, and so, you know, and so at that point, like, what are the cops gonna do? Are they gonna, you know, write a warning to this mystery group of people and this other one guy for littering on the ground and not picking it up? And then, like, what are they gonna, like, chase down these you know, ghost kids for attempting to assault you but not doing it, so they didn't actually do anything wrong? Like, what are you gonna throw them in jail for intimidation? I mean, if they didn't actually do anything to you, then you can't really, you know, I mean, even if they technically threw a punch at you, if they didn't hit you, then, you know, then they still didn't really do anything. I don't know if you can really be thrown, you know, in the stony lonesome for that or not. But then, you know, after this guy realizes that the cops really aren't going to do anything about it, is when he starts getting, like, super aggressive. And he starts just yelling at the cops, you know, like, demanding that they do something, but, like, in the same... God! Oh my god! Jeez, man! God, these guys are savages! What the hell was all of that? I didn't realize they were just gonna come, you know, bum rush me and all totally commit vehicle rape on that moment. Jeez! That was insane. However, that now means that I'm not supposed to go through that turn the way that I decided to go about it. Totally had the wrong idea there. Okay, well, we're gonna have to kind of figure this out, because I kind of got myself into trouble there a little bit. But yeah, so he just, like, starts yelling at them that they're not gonna do anything, and that now he's like going into this whole, well, what's your badge number, officer? What's your name? Because, you know, I just got to tell you, I'm gay. I'm super gay, and my husband is a lawyer in this city, and you can basically say goodbye to your job because I'm gonna sue. And you can just say you can just kiss your job goodbye, and you guys are fucked. You guys are absolutely fucked. You understand me? You understand what's going to happen right now? Are you kidding me? Why? Like, you're just discriminating against me, and you're not helping me on purpose because I'm gay. and because you guys just don't even care. And meanwhile, Matt and I are just like, what the hell is going on right now? And so eventually, he's like, just you wait, you'll be hearing from my husband lawyer within no time at all. And you guys will be looking for a new job. And he's like, I've had enough of you guys. Goodbye. And he just like turns and leaves and just starts storming down the street. And so, you know, after that, okay, is this where this turn is? I don't know if this is where this turn is. I think it's right here where this little sequence comes up. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, so we got this part here. Yeah, this part here. This is the one that'll get me into trouble if I'm not careful. Oh boy. Oh God. That's what I was afraid of. No. 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 God, no. Okay, we got enough room here. We might be able to make up some of the damage. Maybe not all of it. We'll get back to this story in a second. I gotta finish up this part right here. No. No. Alright, here we go. Here we go. I gotta ram him. Oh boy. Yep, that might have done it. That may have done it for me. I may have won the race off of this alone. Leave me alone. You stay away. I'm going to put you away right now. Yeah. Oh no. Oh God. Okay, there's a wall right there. Forgot about that. Okay, either way, I have still put you in the blender forever. Ugh, boy, that was a lot. So to finish this up, after, you know, he leaves, the cops, you know, kind of disperse, and one of the cars, two cops jump in the car and they come, you know, peeling out and come right around the road to, you know, right where Matt and I were sitting, and they get out of the car and they're like, hey guys, how's it going? And we're like, pretty good, I guess. Seems like you guys have had your hands full. He's like, yeah, it was pretty ridiculous. He's like, so, did you guys see what was going on? Like, were you guys paying attention this whole time? And we were like, yeah, we watched the whole thing. Like, did you see any of what was going on before, you know, before we got here? We're like, we saw a couple minutes of it. But, I mean, you guys basically got here a couple minutes after, you know, we had seen things. They're like, well, you know, what was the deal? Like, what was their thing? And it's like, well, we didn't really hear a lot of the dialogue, but it sounded really, in the beginning, like, you know, the guy that you were talking to was trying to fight with the other guy, and she was having to hold him back, and it was pretty ridiculous. And they were probably drunk, and he's like, alright, well... And so then after that, then he, like, tried to, like, recruit me onto his side. He's like, oh, alright. Well, while you guys are watching, did you see him getting, like, super aggressive with me and getting up in my face? And we were both like, yeah, pretty much. And so he was like, he's like, well, could I get your information just because you guys were a witness? And it's like, oh, I see what's going on. Like, I didn't say it. I was like, I see what's going on. So, just in case this guy does try to pursue something against him, he can use me as, like, a character witness to say, well, you know, this was bullshit. Like, he was the one that was being the aggressor here, even though both of them were being calm and collected and whatnot. And it was just so weird, and like this entire time I'm talking to these cops sitting in the back of Matt's truck, like in the flatbed area, just kind of like with my legs up on the side of the truck, just kind of like lounging out at like 12:30 in the morning. It was so weird and so stupid. This guy basically called the cops because somebody broke a bottle on the ground and wouldn't pick it up. That was the reason why he called the police. It was so, and he actually called 911. He actually said that during the whole thing. He's like, these guys littered and I caught them and they wouldn't fix it, and so I called 911 and you guys aren't gonna do anything? Are you kidding me? It's just so stupid. Oh man, the city of Salem, man. You never know what you're gonna find in it. So, with that said, my friends, we're gonna stop right here. This ended up being a little bit longer of an episode than I had planned on, but you know, sometimes you gotta do it. And when we come back next time, we are going to move on to races 3, 4, and potentially 5. And it's gonna be pretty cool. Hopefully we'll keep the winning trend up, and we'll win a nice prize car and be able to move on with our lives. So until then, this is your host, LovelyCheesePizza, saying thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, do tap the like button. It helps me out an insane amount. And if you are wanting to see more of these in the future, do subscribe, because I'm going to be posting them as often as possible. And it'll be good. It'll be good times for all parties involved. So until then, you guys take care, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys.
Bye.